Well, the apocalypse is definitely happening again in future Trunks' timeline for Dragon Ball Super, finally beginning the brand new arc, everyone that's been expecting it, like brand new original stuff with the evil black Goku. Being the second arc that's actually an anime original, since, you know, the first two arcs were pretty shitty recaps. And then adding into the fact as well that, you know, Universe Dukes was, had one good fight. On a serious note though, like, I gotta say though, for this, definitely for this episode as well, I know a lot of people have, like, noticed I'm not the biggest. I've kind of lost a lot of patience when it comes to Dragon Ball Super. It's like, haven't really had that well of the time that I was supposed to be, you know, expecting from, like, you know, a classic series like this. However though, I definitely say, like, the setup for this arc has definitely got me interested. I mean, I've already done a live reaction talking about the opening, and the opening has a lot of actual information in it just from the start. What we get to find out immediately is that, like, Trunks' timeline is already fucked up. We still don't know a lot of the information that, like, how exactly this Black Evil Goku is happening. However, though, whilst this is happening, Bulma, like, Trunks' mother, has actually been able to make a actual sort of energy fuel for the time machine. However, though, it's only a one-way trip, and she's there, like, completely void out. I like how a lot of people know, saying, like, oh, the ascot that she had from, like, you know, Battle of Gods and from the start of the series, like, that's where she got that, like, you know, Trunks got the now the scarf from. And it's like, this, well, I'm very glad as well that this is the confirm. They confirmed it immediately and saying, like, yeah, that we need to go back to that timeline because, like, everyone's super strong there. I'm so glad for the fact of that. Everyone is just there and they're like, yeah, man, like, yeah, like, going into, like, yeah, Cell, like, the Cell stuff counting and all that. This is the Trunks that we knew from, like, the Cell, like, saga and all that. And I was, like, really happy that was the case, because, like, I really like that Trunks. I really thought he was a really cool badass, and I'm hoping, like, you know, like, they kind of keep that same sort of badassness to him. However, though, it seems like he's having quite a hard time already in this world, as the Black Goku, like, literally just comes out and immediately kills Bulma. And I was like, well, this stuff is going incredibly very heavy, and immediately running back towards the base where he sees Mai, and seemingly, like, from what is Mai, from what we got the information from them, is like, oh, they're partners and they seem to be, like, you know, good friends. I was like, oh, it would have been nice if they actually ended up hooking up at the end or something like that. That would have been actually kind of cool, because it clearly shows she's, like, the same age as, like, Trunks at this time. It's clear, like, you know, that, like, in their timeline it happened to say where they had the same wish. And even when they were just, like, eating, like, a tin food, it was like, you can clearly see that, like, food is a very rare thing already in this earth. Like, it's being completely just, like, it's Fallout pretty much. Go to, like, it's Fallout 4 for, like, free. Like, it just looks like a complete shithole. Although, you know, like, it seems like these guys and all that, they still retain their kindness, because they're like, oh, even with a little cat we'll get it, like, some food. And it's like, you know, they're not just there, like, trying to survive and trying to eat, but it seems like they are putting a lot of, like, hope and stuff, like, on there to, like, from what we see with Trunks. Because since Trunks, like, from what we found, like, you know, with this evil Goku, is that it's seemingly after Saiyans, which is, like, the very interesting thing about it. It's like, you know, he's like, oh, I found you, Saiyan. So it's like, it clearly it's in, like, whoever's in control of that is in Goku's body, but that's not really what's, like, going on. Since, like, we saw from the, like, the start of the opening, and then also, like, from a little bit of, like, the features, like, he's definitely got a Potama, like, ring on, so he definitely, like, kind of, like, fused with someone, like, an ear. Like, I'm really curious, like, who did he exactly fuse with, because in, like, the opening, it looked like he, like, was doing some Beerus stuff in there, and then, like, obviously we see this Kai as well, like, you know, there's a lot of stuff, so maybe he fused with this Kai, maybe, like, something happened at this point to make him, like, this terrifying and this strong. So it's like, they're definitely putting a lot of weight on, like, yeah, we need to go and get back to timeline. However, though, Mai kind of protecting, like, Trunks so you can get out there, and it seems like Mai died or something. It's like, you know, I don't think, like, she kind of died like that. Maybe she might awaken from there. Like, I don't know if she did die or not, but it's like, since she's kind of prominent in, like, the start of the opening, so I thought, like, oh, like, both her and, like, from what we see from the preview, I thought, oh, both her, like, Mai and her, like, you know, are gonna go back and actually deal with this. I guess, like, the only, like, complaint that I had with, like, the entire episode is, like, the one thing I wished it was, like, did you really have to show the old animation for, like, the original DBZ? Like, I mean, like, I'm not asking much. You could have just even just do a couple of screenshots or something. It's just, like, doing that, like, arc, or, like, in the new art and stuff like that. That would have been cool, but it's like, it's a small nitpick. And just, yeah, real good setup. I would have liked if Mai, like, kind of learned, like, key at the end, but it seemed like she hasn't got any abilities at all, like, since we can just see it with, like, the shotguns and the guns, and so that's pretty much the majority of it. And I'm guessing, like, what's going to be happening is that I'm kind of curious to see, like, how exactly this evil Goku is going to, like, go into the next one, or, and, like, Goku and Vegeta and all them going to be going over I know I've been kind of like dancing around like not really talking to him, but for like the majority of the episode it was Goku and Piccolo like just like, oh, let's pick up vegetables, oh, Vegeta's playing like, you know, training with Whis, oh, let's go with Whis, and it's just finding out that, yeah, don't fuck with the king of everything because he will destroy everything, because there used to be like 18 universes and he destroyed a massive bunch of them because that's just how he is like that. Sometimes if you get in this bad mood, if he has like a tantrum like that, you're fucked, and like that's why Beerus is like, you know, shitting himself whenever he's mentioned. I think it was a good episode. Like, obviously, it was trying to like balance, like, you know, the goofy stuff in the episode mixed in with like obviously the really fucked up stuff in the Trunk timeline. I like, but like, while we seen like this, like seeing the old Trunks again, I really like seeing him again, and I really like wanted to see a little bit more of Mai. It would have been cool if she actually had some other like kind of like ability, like she ended up learning Ki or something like that. Or it's like she only use a little bit of Ki, but she like puts them into the bullets or something like that. But it's like I'm curious to see what exactly the next episode is going to be going. Like I've got like not faith, but I have a lot of expectations like this arc, especially is like, since it looks pretty good, and I'm like I want it to do well, because like this week the Dragon Ball fans have definitely deserved like I feel like the setup for this is something that we should have got from the start, like something like this. Although I still feel like the whole point of an evil Goku still feels like the most evil, like, you know, like fan fiction thing ever. Like it screams someone just writ this in their bedroom like at like 5 at night, thinking about, oh, how cool would it be to have an evil Goku and like mine like Trunks team up. It's silly at the end of the day, but then Dragon Ball Super's not been the big, you know, the biggest and all that online characters, stuff like that. But we'll honestly have to wait and see. Like I said, like, I mean, Universe 6, we had a lot of expectations for that, and it kind of went a bit but it's like now we've got some like hopefully, you know, expectations, and I think like for a first episode this did really strongly, so I am looking forward to like what this has got planned in the future. I'm gonna give this like episode a solid 9. I actually do think it was very well done. I'm glad the animation was on point for once, although I really would have liked if they actually just did some new screenshots or either some new animation for them, but like for what we saw of like the Cell stuff. Obviously they did the same thing with the Frieza like arc and all that. I really wish they would have just done that instead of kind of being a little bit lazy, but let's see if they can keep this up. I'm really curious to episode 48. But that's all for me. So if you enjoyed this episode of Dragon Ball Super, you know what to hit that like, you know what to hit that subscribe. But that's all for me. Thank you much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.